Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Rob. Over the next couple of weeks I'm going to be bringing you some what I refer to as freezer treats. What essentially these are is, now I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but on the odd occasion I do get a craving for something sweet. I like to go to my freezer and grab something that's readily available that doesn't cause me to go off track with my nutritional goals. Okay, so they are healthier versions of treats, okay, and they may not satisfy everyone's sweet tooth, but they certainly do mine. Okay, so I'm going to take you through my first one. We're going to call this an Oaty Treat. Okay, not very imaginative, I know, but let's roll with it and let's get cooking. So let me just put this on my head, make sure you get the right view. Right, cool. So first what we're going to do, okay, we are going to warm the oven up. 170 degrees is what we're working with today. And let's go through the ingredients. What we have here is 150 grams of grounded down oats. Now, I've mentioned this before on another recipe of mine, okay? You don't have to waste your money and go out and buy them already grounded down for you. Just grab normal oats, put them in the blender, away you go, and they're grounded. A lot cheaper way of doing it. We have 300 milliliters of unsweetened almond milk. We have vanilla essence, we're gonna put a drop of that in there, baking powder, got desiccated coconut, we're gonna use 5 grams of this, 2 eggs, ground sweet cinnamon. Okay, I've mentioned this before, this is a game changer, use it. 50 grams of walnuts, chopped, and 50 grams of raisins. Now you can use other things, but these are what my go-tos are, so this is what we're gonna work with. And we've got 1 juicy red apple we're gonna cube up to put in our recipe. So, first of all, what we're gonna do, just gonna quickly put this down a little bit. So we're gonna put desiccated coconut in. Remember, 5 grams we're gonna do. So, you can put a little bit more if you want to, but like I say, I don't have much of a sweet tooth. 5 grams, perfect. So that's enough for me, and that's what we're gonna do. Now, we put 1 tablespoon of baking powder in there, and we're then going to add some cinnamon. Now, do this to your taste, guys. It really doesn't make a difference how much you put in. Okay, I love cinnamon, okay, but that's what I'm gonna put in. Be warned, guys, the ground sweet cinnamon is quite sweet, okay, so you may want to just, okay, add a little bit until you're used to it at a time. Okay, we're gonna whisk up the eggs. So a little bit of shell in there. Perfect. Okay, so just put that to one side. Turn it off, save a bit of battery. Let's get a fork and let's just whisk up the eggs. Now, to stop any clumping, what I would do is just mix in all your dries so far, okay? Just as I say, prevent any clumping. Don't have to overdo it, but put that in. In fact, I put the milk in first. Give a little stir. As I say, guys, these kind of treats can be a lifesaver, because when you do get a sweet craving and these kind of healthier alternatives aren't available, we've all been there. We go for, obviously, what we actually really want. Things like cookies, maybe cereal, whatever your jam is, okay? But when these are available, okay, they can save you calories on your diet. So let's just whisk those eggs in there. Put that to one side. In goes the raisins. In go the walnuts. You don't have to use walnuts, guys. Walnuts is one of my favorite nuts, so that's why I've used those. And apple and walnuts go together, in my opinion, like salt and pepper. They are perfect for one another. Marriage made in heaven. But you can use other nuts as well. I've mentioned before in some of my videos, try from a nutritional standpoint, go for nuts with skin on. Okay, they tend to be the most nutritious, but any nut will do, okay? So pick your poison. So we're just gonna cube these apples up. Obviously, if you want to, you can grate these guys. Okay, that's a good way of doing it. If you wanted to not have chunks in your, what we are going to turn into mini bars. Cut them smaller, cut them bigger, absolutely up to you. Let's grab our spatula. Give it a little stir. We're going to just put in, as I say, a dash of vanilla. Give it a nice added taste to it. Now, if you really do want to sweeten up even more, you can add something like honey or sugar-free maple syrup. Okay, so I've got the Walden Farms collection. I also do have Callow Fit, which let me quickly show you. So you've got the selections here, okay, and they're good for me. And like I say, I don't have much of a sweet tooth, but they are the perfect thing to have if you ever do get a sweet craving. So we're just going to line our pan. Now I've got a pan here, okay, maybe 20 by 20. Well, hang on, I am a man, so I might exaggerate. Okay, I think it is actually 12 by 10. Okay, but pick and choose. Oh, if I turn it around, there we go, guys. 9 inches, okay, square. So 9 by 9. There we go. I told you I was a man. I do exaggerate, okay, in inches. But grab whatever pan you want. Do bear in mind, guys, okay, the cooking time will alter the thicker you have your mixture, okay? So just be careful of that. We're just going to line our pan with some non-stick baking paper. And we grab our mix. Doesn't want to seem to be going in today. Again, grab our spatula. Let's get all the ingredients out. Spread it around, nice and even. Put that to one side. And there we go, guys. That's our mix. Okay. Now our oven isn't fully warmed up. What I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to give it a minute or two and put this mixture in there. Okay, and like I say, I'll talk to you quickly, briefly about what's coming up on my channel. Okay, I've got some recipes, I've got some really good brownies, only 3 ingredients to make them, and they are very, very healthy. Again, part of my freezer treat collection. You've got those nut balls already on my channel. Okay, and I'm also going to make you some fruit bread. Okay, they are absolutely amazing. Okay, recipes. I honestly do turn to these, okay, when I do have sweet craving. Like I say, not very often, but when I do, okay, they are great alternatives and they are extremely healthy. Okay, but they should stop you from going to, okay, unhealthy treats. Okay, so let's just put it in the oven. Okay, now I'm going to set the timer. Now, so on my stopwatch. Okay, now we're going to put those in the oven, okay, for around half an hour, and we are going to see how they come out, and I'll keep you updated with it. Okay, sometimes they can take a little bit shorter or longer depending on your oven. Now it wasn't fully warmed up, okay, although it was near enough. I could feel it. Okay, so I'm going to give it half an hour and come back and just see how the mixture is setting. You want to take them out just a little bit soft, okay, because they will harden up, okay, as they cool down. I find a lot of these type of recipes, okay, you do need to have the confidence to take them out to allow them to set, because if they set when they're cooked, they're going to be a little bit too hard, okay, or certainly from my preference anyway. So guys, I'll come back in half an hour, okay, and we'll check it out and I will update you to see how they are doing. See you in a bit, guys. Hi guys, welcome back. So you can see by my watch, okay, it is just under 25 minutes. Okay, I have been keeping an eye on it and it looks more or less done already. So let's just have a little look. Okay, so you can see it's a little bit cakey in terms of spongy, okay, and texture. That for me is exactly how, okay, I like to have this recipe. Okay, now it will harden up a tad. Okay, so we're going to pop that to one side and let that cool down. Okay, so I will let it cool down for a good maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I will come back. Okay, I might even put it on, take it out of the tin and put it on the side on a rack, just to cool down a little bit quicker. And then I'll come back, I will chop it up and we will go through the macronutrient breakdown and the cost of the dish. See you shortly, guys. Okay guys, welcome back. So it's cooling down quite nicely. You can see lovely chunks of apple in there as well. Okay, still a little bit warm, but essentially it's cool enough to cut down. So what I'm going to do, okay, I'll take you through. Now I portion these out into 12 pieces. You can make more or less depending on how many you want to make out of your batch. Okay, so like I say, I'm going to go for 12. So let's go straight down the middle. So I don't know if you can hear. Okay, just a little bit warm. Maybe you would want to ideally let it just cool down just a tad longer. But let's have a look to see how they turn out. So maybe if you don't have a massive appetite, you can portion them out into maybe 16 pieces. But I've worked these out into how I prefer to have my macronutrients, okay, on an evening. It tends to be an evening when I do have them, okay, as a bit of a sweet treat. So you can see 12 fairly even pieces. And let's take a look at the macronutrient breakdown, as well as, let's leave it there, as the cost of the dish. So what I've got here, okay, in black writing, you have the entire batch, and in red, it's individual portions, okay, like I said, 12 portions, each one represented by the red writing. So the whole dish is just over 1,300 calories, okay, which works out per portion to be 108.7 calories. Like I say, work out your macronutrient targets and you can make that smaller, you can make that larger, depending on how your nutritional targets, okay, fare with you with your treat. Protein 38.2, okay, for the batch, 3.2 per portion, okay. So it's not, the idea of this recipe isn't to go with a high protein, okay, source. It's generally, okay, a carby treat, because if you think about the treats most people tend to go for, they are high carb. Yes, they do have some fats in, as well as this recipe does. You see, just carbs very briefly, 137.1 for the batch, fat 58.7. Individually, okay, remember 12 portions individually, each one is 11.4 grams of carbs and 4.9 grams of fat. So you can see primarily it is a carby treat with some fats in there, but don't forget guys what's in there. Okay, all of these are driven by nutrient dense foods. You have oats, okay, from your carbs, you have the apple, okay, also going into those carbs, and you've got raisins as well. Yes, you could argue to say raisins maybe aren't as nutritious as the other, okay, things in the recipe, but for me, raisins are very good, okay, treats to have that stop me craving less healthier options. Okay, so you don't have to put raisins in there if you don't like them or you don't want them. You can put goji berries in, or even blueberries or something like that, but this is my preference. Okay, protein I don't have to worry about, but because by the time I get to this day, this time of the day, okay, I've already had more than enough protein, so I don't need any more in a sweet treat. Okay, going into fats, you have your walnuts, which is absolutely a powerhouse of nutrients, okay, going into each walnut, okay, healthy fats, okay, and like I said before, you don't have to have walnuts, you can pick any nut you like, almonds, you have pecans, you have hazelnuts, you can even put cashews, although cashews aren't a skin on nut, it still is very healthy. So again, pick and choose, okay, your fat targets. You can have almonds, which is a little bit less fatty than walnuts, okay, not much, but still less nevertheless, so you can take these amounts down, okay, according to your targets. Cost £2.23 for the entire dish, which makes each treat 19 pence, and I even rounded it up, okay, I think it worked out to be something like 18.7 pence, give or take, but 19 pence for this treat, okay. And let's just go back over here. You can see for yourself, okay, every single one of these, and they're fairly big treats, okay, is 19 pence and only 108 calories, 3.2 grams of fat, 11.4 grams of carbs, and 4.9 grams of fat. Guys, do yourself a favor. I'm going to take the smallest one, and right, yeah, that's what you get. Really do yourself a favor and make these, guys. They are amazing. Really, really good, tasty dish. Right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for tuning in, and see you soon. Take care, guys.